Thank you. So tonight I'll be talking for the Global AI Council on AI SEO, GEO, how you can be found in search on AI platforms. All right, let's dive in. Bristol Myers Squibb and Microsoft are teaming up for AI and lung cancer. So they announced a collaboration focused on AI-driven early detection for lung cancer. The goal is to improve how risk is identified so that so doctors can act on it earlier in the care journey. For healthcare organizations and life sciences teams, this partnership creates a path to help shorten time to insight and also scale programs where they haven't been able to find the headcount to solve these issues. Being able to interpret the images is a huge delay in any kind of medical diagnostics because there is a severe lack of medical care workers. Um, so Thomson Reuters announces that they have an AI solution for sales and tax compliance. They have launched OneSource Sales and Tax AI. They say that it will reduce time spent on compliance while lowering your audit risk. Now, in the US, taxes are really complicated for businesses because you have to pay taxes in certain states at different rates. And this will help tax teams with their productivity, faster cycles, fewer manual steps, and ideally more consistency and accurately. I like this category because it's not looking to replace experts, of which there are not enough, but it is shrinking the busy work surface area. So then your team can spend more time on judgment calls and advisory work. So something to think about is using AI internally for compliance functions because typically compliance is really strict. You need to do it this way. And if you can have AI help you do it that way, then you know that it will get done consistently all the time. Also, you will definitely want to have a human in the loop to double check the work. Um, but it's a great place for AI to play. All right, US AI regulation update. Another one. A new US policy conversation is gaining momentum around federal AI standards and how they might reduce conflicting state by state rules. And this is where the federal government, wants to control all of the AI rules and not allow the states their own rulings. And I'm really curious how this is going to play out because every state has started to, well, not every, but many states have started their own AI rulings. Um, and we'll see what happens if federal supersedes that. Um, but in the United States, it is known for that freedom per state to decide what happens. This would be a big legal precedent change in government in general and who has rights where, not just AI rights. And the courts are also dealing with copyright, and there are copyright disputes around AI training and model behavior. And we hear this, I mean, every single week we're hearing information about it, and the importance of transparency, technical evidence about what models do and don't retain. Do they retain personal information or do they not? And so for companies building with generative AI, the business implications mean that they need to provide documentation about the training data, and there's opportunity in a licensing strategy. If they have the rights to certain data, then they can license it to other people to train their AIs. Um, the winners this year in 2026 will be the teams that can answer basic questions fast. What data touch this workflow? What are the guardrails? How do we handle opt-outs and takedowns? And if you want to de-risk without slowing down, you'll definitely want to build a lightweight AI receipts habit now. Our habit is putting the training information into document folders. Like we put all the training information into docs, we store it in folders, and we have it in our Google Drive. Simple as that. And if somebody were to want to audit all of the custom GPTs and all the different things we've created, we have the documentation in folders already. So we wouldn't have to pull from each thing that we've created. And I'd highly recommend that anybody else do that as a minimum. Have a document with the training information, a folder that contains all the knowledge so that it's easy to produce that evidence should you need it. It's kind of like having the receipts when you're getting an audit from the IRS or whatever your tax agency is. It's no fun. And if your documents are well organized, it's less painful. Now, Claude CoWork is getting this it's creating confusion. It's creating a lot of confusion right now. People think that Claude CoWork is going to replace uh ChatGPT, it's going to replace Gemini, it might replace Copilot, but Claude CoWork is not as people are interpreting it to be. It is not a collaborative work environment. Claude CoWork is simply an automated way of connecting systems. So it's as if Zapier and Make were fully integrated into your AI. And your coworker is in Claude CoWork, and Claude CoWork can go to your desktop and do different activities for you. That's already been available in ChatGPT for a while. You can also do that a little bit more limited, but you can do it in Copilot. You can also do it in Google's AI Studio. Um, and so we've had more questions this last week about, oh, Claude CoWork is out. Should I consider this? We're on ChatGPT or we're on Gemini. Should I do Claude CoWork instead? And I'd say, like, hold your horses. If you're on Claude and that's your tool of choice for your organization, okay, check out CoWork. But if you're on the other tools, I would say no and understand what the AI studios in Google and Microsoft do a little bit better. And you can do some of the same things. ChatGPT, it's pretty easy to do the same things too. Um, we found a little bit more hard to do in Google and Microsoft, and it is possible. So I don't think you need to put your entire organization on a new platform just because this new shiny object called CoWork comes out. Speaking of shiny objects, the tools to try this week. Opus Clip. I love Opus Clip. It chops up our videos. It's going to chop up this video that I'm creating right now. And it makes short form content with the words on it, bright words, small words. You can do B-roll in there. It will clean up all my ums, ahs, likes that I might say. It's very handy. So Opus Clip is one to check out. We've been using it for more than 2 years now and still love it. Gamma also have been using it for more than 2 years. Love Gamma, or more than 3 years. I don't know, however long this AI stuff has been going on. Um, Gamma makes decks so easily, and I will be creating one today for a presentation that I have later. I just take all the information. I'll tell you, this is what I do for presentations. We do surveys before an event. I take that survey information, I read it and read what the people want. Then I put it into AI, ask it to formulate my presentation because it already knows how I usually present what I present on. And it makes sure that that presentation has all the answers to the questions that people are asking in the survey. And then I drop it into Gamma. It's already organized into slides, and Gamma makes it pretty. So I can do these decks so much faster with AI. And then Fixer transformed my relationship to my inbox. Fixer marks things as urgent, something I need to reply to. And if I've replied to something and I'm waiting for someone to respond back, it tells me that too. And it says waiting response, and that's one of the tags on it. And so I know there's a follow-up and I can pull all those up that we're waiting for a response on because maybe I'll want to email that person again. But Fixer takes care of it. It responds to everything in my voice, and I can review the responses to make sure that they are accurate, which I do like to do, and then send the emails manually. I could have it auto respond, but I prefer to look at the responses still. Then we've got a little tutorial on how to use Opus Clip. And we have this, let's see. Yep, we're using it all the time. And there's a tutorial on here. And you can go to the blog over at aismartventures.com, and it's the most recent newsletter. And you can learn how to use Opus really quickly and easily. And then we are kicking off a new cohort to our Applied AI Level 1 certification course. It's a 10-week course, and we go over all of the tools that you would be using in your workday to make your work life easier. And in these tools, the tools that you'll learn, you'll get exposure to a bunch of different ones, and we'll show you how to leverage what you already have. Like I said, if you're in Gemini, you can use Gemini in class. If you are using Copilot, you can use Copilot in class, and we'll help you really leverage the tools that you're using. We'll teach you how to build your first agents, how to make your instructions better. We'll get into workflows, creating and building workflows as well. And our students are saying, this is Mackenzie from savealife.org, that she highly recommends signing your team up for the Applied AI course. She said it allows you to learn, connect, and get your hands dirty playing with AI tools and learning about what's new and upcoming. So, details, we've got 10 live classes, 10 AI labs where you'll be able to bring your work to the lab to work on. And there are also recorded tutorials inside of our LMS, and you will get all of that. So it ends up being 20 hours of in-person opportunity, and then the tutorials that are inside the LMS. So we look forward to seeing you in class and also your entire team. Um, and I think that's about it. So thank you.